Well, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. So I've got a concept for you to chew on. Patriarchs, matriarchs, and role models. Now that statement, and perhaps the title of this video, might lead you to think a certain way, but don't worry. This isn't about anything to do with any of this crazy stuff out there in the zeitgeist to do with these matters and any of the distorted sort of shit that gets thrown around about that. That's not what we're going to be talking about, and that's not what we're all about here on the channel. So, I have a bit of a different perspective to present about this. I hope you stick around to see what that is. So a matriarch being a strong and powerful leader or head of a family, an organization, a country, a group of some kind, that is a woman, almost a motherly figure per se. A patriarch, again, being the leader, the head, or the person in charge, the man in charge of a country, a nation, an organization, whatever, being a fatherly type figure. And a role model is somebody that is exactly that. Somebody that models a life or models a certain set of virtues that can influence others to follow things in a bit more of a healthy way. And here's where I think a lot of people are following advice that they might not even fully realize is designed for somebody who's trying to be or who has been thrusted into either a matriarch or patriarch role, and they do not fully realize that this is what's happening, so therefore they might be taking some of the wrong advice, taking some of the wrong approaches to things, and not actually noticing that the role models that actually don't have anything to do with either one of these concepts and could probably benefit their life a lot better are there, and they're overlooking them or missing them because the current zeitgeist, as well as what people might naturally think is the most responsible procedures to take in a situation, are conducive of what a matriarch or a patriarch might follow in their journey. And you might be one of those people, and that's great. I'm not telling you otherwise. I'm just expanding perspectives a little bit and also gearing this message towards people who might feel that there's something that isn't quite adding up with that advice, and they might need something a little bit different. So stick around and I will present my point a bit better in a short amount of time throughout this video. Thank you. Okay, so not to say that there's anything wrong with the practices of the patriarch or the matriarch, but in order to hold the position and to, cultivate the life in the situation from others that they need to, they have to be very highly disciplined. They have to go through a lot of existential crises and, lots of mental and emotional, strenuous, self-induced abuse in order to get to, those profound insights, those really strong character traits in order to do those things. And that's fine, and I think we need to respect those people, and we highly need that as the general shell. You can almost refer to them as, the system at large, or, the rules, the law, just the basic structure of everyday things that kind of need to be there in order to make everything work seamlessly together. But in the self-improvement community, and in a lot of places, people that are not meant to be that don't want to be that aren't equipped or designed to do that sort of thing, are receiving that same advice, and they are either giving up or, just unnecessarily taking a very long road around to get to the places that they need to be, that they don't actually have to go through if they just followed the advice of the role model. Because a role model isn't any of this high, powerful stuff. There's a lot of power in it, but they're not the big people. They are, a lot of times they're heavily flawed. A lot of times they're somebody that makes tons of mistakes, and they're not, they don't always hold up to everything they say to this, exquisite, deity-like accuracy all the time. But they exude such good character, they exude such good morals, they do great things for other people. They are so blatantly and obviously known as people that mean well, that are doing good things, that are trying to lift other people up, that are trying to make things better for other people. That on a good day and under good circumstances, people will look up to and follow the advice that they give, because they know that's their spirit, they know that's what's inside of them, and they can sense that, and so therefore they do look up to them, they do follow their advice. And they are a lot more open to the, character defects and the flaws of somebody that is hey buddy, I don't even know where that dog came from, it's not mine. I don't even know if the camera picked that up actually. But see, that's another way that you can look at it. This is a flawed video model. This isn't some perfect, this isn't a perfect production here, right? So anyway, people know that in spite of all of the mistakes that these people might make, that they still ultimately mean well. So therefore, it goes back to what I was saying before about it not being super serious, about it having a comedic sort of aura to it a lot of times, where it isn't, heavy, like put your fists down kind of procedures all the time. There's a lot of humor and, flawed brilliance, I guess, in a lot of ways within the role model way of doing things, in the sense where, they might screw up in relationships often. They might, say stupid, embarrassing things. A lot of times they might try to be funny and the joke not land often. They might, try to do something meaningful and impactful but fall flat on their face often. But because, and not to repeat this too much, but because there's that, 50% of the time that they do actually show up on these good days and they just kill it, right? And people see that and people know that. Therefore, they have somewhat of a resume behind the legitimacy of what they're doing and what they're saying. And at the same time, the 50% of the time that they do these failures and these fuck-ups, people, don't write them off, they don't cast them out, they still follow the advice that they're giving, because, again, they know that underneath all of that is a true, there is a lot of virtuous things that they're at least trying to go forward with. And so there's a lot of advice out there that is more geared towards the role of the role model, pun intended. But I think what people make a mistake is they hear about these podcasts, they hear about the self-improvement community and that, and they go into it, and they get these real deep, psychological, philosophical, really disciplined things, and they find that it doesn't resonate with them, and they're not, you know, they're taking a really long road through something that they don't need to, when they could just be a bit more lighthearted about it, just allow themselves to fail a bit more, and have faith that their overall virtue and their overall mission will be seen by others, and that they can take things at a lot lighter of a level than the big people do. And so that's pretty much what I had to say about that. I hope you enjoyed it.